What's up everybody, AJ here. Why am I kicking my feet? I think Kevin Hart's got a skit about that. You can't take a grown man seriously when they're kicking their feet. Super stoked about this video today. This is obviously a big change for me. Before we get into the bow, thank you everybody that ordered a limited edition Blackbeard Archer Void. This was a collaboration that we did with the boys over at Dialed Archery. Absolutely love those guys. We did a similar collaboration a couple months ago with the fellows over at Quattro. So thank you for all of you that picked either those stabilizers or that Void up. Be on the lookout for future limited edition batch drops from the guys at Dialed. They're going to be doing those short batch drops every week or so with different people in the industry that they're going to collaborate with to release some limited edition designs, and those will be open for like 3-4 days. You can put in orders and then they're gone. If you did miss out on that and you did want to pick up some Blackbeard Archer swag, I do have new hats, shirts, stickers, and other pieces of swag, arrow wraps on knightsoftheapex.com. So link in bio if you want to pick any of that stuff up. But thank you guys again, seriously. It means a lot, and it's such a cool thing to me to get pictures and get tagged in your guys' hunts throughout the year using either Coda or any of the kit that we've helped collaborate with, or just getting tagged in your guys' setups and stuff. It's really surreal to me. Over the years, I've been super fortunate to make some incredible relationships and some really deep friendships throughout the industry at different companies. So that's really what kind of brings us to the change over to Prime. You know, I always find like the whole like I'm switching bows super cringy. I mean, I've been a PSE guy for the duration of this channel's existence, so to not address it would be super awkward. So I'll just pull that band-aid. You know, if you're looking for some sort of drama, go to another channel. There's none of that here. I love all my friends that are still over at PSE, love and support them. I stand by everything that I've ever said about PSE bows. But new owners, new relationships, and shooting all of the new bows, all the flagships for 23, and of all of the different models, I was really impressed with both the Revex and the Bowtech Carbon 1. I did go through like a whole process of talking to different companies, and really Prime, their vision and what they're bringing to market and what they see for the future, I just really fit in with, and I love the product. And there's a lot of little techie, geeky things to these bows that are really in line with the type of stuff that I like showcasing, and that I'm really excited to highlight for all of you guys. So could not be more stoked to be working with Prime in the future. I did buy this bow. That was not a clickbait title. My local shop, Adventures Archery, has just always been super supportive of me, and as you know, kind of a thank you and a buy-in to Prime, I did go and purchase this Revex 4. As far as setup and tuning, this bow was extremely easy to set up. I found that it was timed perfectly out of the factory. I didn't have to mess with any of that. I did end up having to shim the cams over, both the top and bottom. I shimmed them to the left just a little bit to get a perfect bullet hole, and then just a little bit of maneuvering with the rest. but super simple, couple of shots, and I had this thing squared away. All prime bows ship with 2 different spacers in addition to the ones that are already on the bows. Swapping out those spacers, as long as you've got a press, well, you need a press, so, but super simple to do. I like that the axles are held in place with Allen heads that actually have washers, like a dish washer, encapsulating that head in place. Just very precise. Swapping out the spacer is easy. Loosen up that screw, remove it, push the axle out, throw the new spacers on, screw it all back together, and you're back in business. Super simple. I like that the spacers are metal instead of plastic or polymer. Normally, I don't comment on the fit and finish of bows. It's something that I overlook because I just plan on scratching stuff up anyway. But I will say that there's no rough edges on this bow. In bows that I've had in the past or that I've picked up from other manufacturers in the past, like sometimes you'll get one and it almost feels like it skipped a step in production, like something was supposed to be deburred or sanded down. None of that with the Prime. Everything is just very clean, just throughout the entire bow, from the beveling on the cams, the riser itself, the grip. Love this grip. We'll talk more about that in a second, but yeah, anyway, finishing up tuning, very intuitive to tune, very easy. Was getting bullet holes pretty quick. I have a Hamskea Prime Arrest on there for right now. I'm probably going to swap over to the Prime Epsilon that they have in collaboration with Hamskea in the future. Dialed Arxos, already talked about that a little bit. Goes together really easy. This bow's so well balanced that when I was firing this at Adventures bare bow, testing it just like anybody else would a new bow, I was actually nervous that it wasn't going to balance out well with accessories, because as a bare bow it just held and balanced so well. So I didn't know how it was going to behave once you threw a sight and rest and stabilizers on there, but this came together very easy. It feels very similar to some of the bows that I've set up in the past. This is a Revex 4, so 34-inch axle-to-axle platform. This is set to 29 inches, 70 pounds. This core cam system is ridiculously smooth. The valley is so generous, it just doesn't want to take the string away at all, and it's so comfortable that I found myself getting a little lazy on the back wall, and I wondered if that was going to affect my groups, but I haven't found that to be the case yet. It's kind of surprising how smooth this cam is, especially at 70 pounds. There's no hump in it. It's almost awkward the first time you pull it back because you're waiting for the hump and it never comes. You just settle into a valley and you're just super comfortable. The bow feels rock solid at full draw. I like that they went to string stops this year. I know that's always a hotly debated thing, string stop versus limb stop. Personally, I like string stops. I do think in the future, if this cam geometry sticks around, I'll probably get these bows in 80 pounds moving forward, just because they are that smooth. I think I could either shoot it at 80 pounds or drop it down to 75 comfortably and get a little bit more speed out of it, because that is one thing with these bows, probably with the center grip and the super smooth cams, their IBO speed ratings right around high 330s, so a little slower than some of the bows that I'm used to, but this bow is just so easy to shoot and so accurate. I'll take the sacrifice. To me, it feels very similar to a 70-pound PSE with the EC2 cam, if I were to compare it to another bow that I've been shooting recently. And I know bow companies hate when you compare bows to other bows, but for those of you that are familiar with the channel, I know you'll appreciate that. I'm sure a lot of that feel comes down to the grip as well. I've said for years, Prime's got my favorite grip on the market. I haven't shot one of these bows in the cold, so we'll see if that NASA technology that's in the foam that's underneath this grip, we'll see how warm that keeps my hand come October, November. But shooting it in this 100-degree heat here in Florida, the thing feels phenomenally comfortable. The position in the center of the riser just feels super steady, super consistent. Coming to anchor, I should put it like a shot clock on one of these days, but I feel like I come to anchor a little faster riser, I definitely feel more comfortable and more consistent coming to anchor, even at different angles. As far as setup goes, I've got, you know, 3 ounces up front of, this is a 12-inch stabilizer, the new Vulcan, or the new Villagos from Quattro Archery, and then I've got 5 ounces on the back of, this is an 8-inch bar. So the way a compound bow works, right now there's a lot of tension on the string. As you draw back, the strings, the cables, the cams, the limbs, all work in conjunction, so that when you come to full draw, there's actually not a lot of tension on the bowstring itself. That tension is transferred to the cables, but all of that tension, especially with these wide limb pockets and whatnot, these cables have to be pulled over to the side, otherwise they'd be in the way of your arrow. So with that, right, there is torque induced on the riser. This happens with every bow from every manufacturer. The amount of torque that you see in the riser varies bow to bow, manufacturer to manufacturer, but one of the ways that Prime has engineered more consistency into their risers is with this swerve. So the purpose of the swerve, this isn't just aesthetically cool looking or different. The engineering premise behind it is that the swerve is actually designed so that the forces going through the riser at full draw and during the shot are consistent in both the top and bottom of the riser. Touching on strings, the strings from Prime, I will say, seem to be some of the more quality ones of the stock strings that I've seen. One of the cool things that Prime does is they will, as long as you warranty your bow, they'll send you a new set of strings every 2 years. Talking with Prime, some of those strings are actually made from Bloodline material, which is pretty cool. I didn't know that before. A lot of the guys that I know that have shot Prime for years tend to hold on to these bows. These bows hold up really well. So if you're somebody that, you know, you buy a bow for every 3, 4, 5, 10 years, you know, it's cool to know that these things hold up and that the company stands behind their bows to the point where they'll just send you a set of strings every 2 years. I know if you're like me and you tend to shoot a lot, you're probably going to go through a set of strings every year, but they're still saving you 50% of what you'd normally be spending on string. I've had this bow for a couple of weeks now, shooting it, and it's been upwards of 100 degrees every single day, and I haven't had anything come out of spec yet, no sort of cable or string stretch. So good on Prime for putting quality strings on their bows, and just good on Prime in general. Super stoked to be working with them. I'm hyped about this and excited to give you guys more insight into the bows over the next couple of years. But thank you guys for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel. Appreciate all of you guys watching. Best of luck this season. I'm sure you'll see me again shortly, but thank you guys.